Horrible choice. I'm just fucking kidding. Just start shitting. I love it.
I noticed as it was ending, I was just thinking about this. I feel like you don't hear fade outs in music nearly as much as you used to. Because like it started fading out. I'm like, that's different than like a lot of the stuff you hear now.
That's a very, they used to do that. That was a big trend. And like, I don't know when they stopped, but you only really hear that in more classic songs now.
I feel like it was kind of like the 80s was kind of like the crossover point for that.
I think it ebbed and flowed, right? Because I think everyone did it. A decade and a half, and then people were like, all right.
It was like, we're just going to shred an epic solo for 17 minutes, and then when the producer decides, they'll just, all right, done.
It was a nice touch there. I don't feel like he does that a lot with a lot of their songs, but it felt pretty seamless now that you mention it.
Yeah. So it's just something that I noticed because a lot of songs you'll we hear the and everything rings out and then like, damn, all right, done. And I don't know. I just thought that was cool. And I like that it sort of matches that funky vintage style. Not that this sounds vintage, but it's definitely very like inspired by like kind of vintage funk.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, shout out to Jacob Schweinsberg. He's an incredible guitarist. And
what's his? How do you say his name?
Jake Schweinsberg.
Schweinsberg. That's a cool
Schweinsberg.
Name.
Okay.
Sounds like a fake name.
Yeah, I think it's
it's a stage name.
It's German.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be a hell of a stage name.
It was like Smith, and it's just like that doesn't sound cool.
Schweinsberg has a better ring to it. Nice job, Jake Schweinsberg.
We call him Schweins.
Schweins. Okay.
I like that.
Yeah, I've been thinking of starting up lessons with him again because I now that I am giving enough lessons and I could like pay for it through that, but also he's I feel like he could help me take my playing from like the upper intermediate echelons into like because that's like the toughest spot. Like you get pretty good at guitar and then it's really hard to continue.
There's definitely a like plateau that you hit and you have to like work really hard and it's a lot less of developing skills and deciding what skills you want to develop because like getting to that intermediate level you're learning how to transition between chords and do weird chord shapes and you're learning your scales up and down the neck and things like that. And then as you get into your like upper intermediate to advanced levels, you have to decide whether it's almost like leveling up a character in a video game. You have to decide whether you want to spend your points on like right hand like funk technique or if you want to learn how to like sweep pick.
Yeah.
Like because you're probably not going to be doing those two things in the same like style of music.
Yeah. Well, I want to learn the funk stuff. And Jake is incredible at it. So he's a great individual
that
to work with.
right hand technique of getting the muting.
Yeah.
I absolutely adore. It sounds so good.
It's a lot of fun to play too. Well, right on. Thanks for listening.
Yeah,
absolutely. Another one of the things that I liked is just in the arrangement. There was like and I mentioned it right after it happened when we were listening, but there's just like a little pause. And then everything comes back in. There's something about that little pause that just like, it's like a breath. And it's like everything comes back in. I don't know. There's something that I just enjoyed about that. And like the auxiliary percussion too was really cool. It just kind of like adds to the syncopation of everything. Because like one of the... He's looking at me like I'm speaking a different language.
Oh, yeah, I don't understand. I sound good.
So, like...
Sounds good to ear.
Syncopation was the word?
Syncopation.
Fucking love that shit.
All right, so definition music theory time. Syncopation is basically when you have rhythms that don't fall on the beat.
Okay.
And so you've got your backbeat drums that are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And then you've got your other, like, rhythms that play in between that.
Gotcha.
And that's really what funk is based on. Yep. Like, you inherently know to do that, even if you don't know what it's called.
Okay.
And at least you seem to, because you guys, you guys are funky.
I'm the
as hell.
fucking best at syncopation. Which one am I looking at here?
You're looking at that guy.
I'm looking at that one?
Yeah.
I've been looking at that one the whole time. I was like, I just realized there was another phone there. So fucking funny.
We've been impress it. I think you get the syncopated elements of the songs that you need to do that.
These guys carry.
He doesn't know the words, but he knows how to play.
I don't know words. Can you say it in Japanese? Maybe I'll understand it.
To some extent, that's more important. Brandon's got the feel.
Yeah. No,
that's the music.
That's
deep in his plums.
That's 100% the thing. Is like
plums.
You can put words to it all day, but it's like as long as you know intuitively what you're doing, that is what matters more. And I like there's a lot of internet discourse about like music theory and whether you should learn music theory. And really that's just the ability to describe what you're already doing to other people. Yeah. And I don't know, like you can definitely get away with not knowing the music theory terminology, but to me, and I'm not saying that you have to do this, but like to me, having that terminology is just another way to like express to people quickly like what you're trying to do.
It's like language.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and the more we play together collectively, the more we each are learning that more and more just by being around each other. I mean, Jahan definitely has the best theory knowledge.
I'm learning English really well too.
I'm probably right behind him.
I get nerdy about that shit and then realize that people don't know what the hell I'm talking
it's
about.
All right.
How do I play the song, man? Just stop with the words.
John in our band is like an extremely intelligent individual. We constantly have to slow it down and be like, does anyone know what the fuck he just said? Like we gotta grab a thesaurus and really analyze like, okay, break it down, John. Oh, he went to the fucking grocery store today.
He's mad.
He's upset. Is that a word for angry?
I didn't get that. All right, we got another one.
Yeah, I think we got
what's the
7
next
more.
tune?
We got. Do I get to pick?
That's you.
Your go.
That's you, buddy.
Let's pick Muncie's.
What
song did I pick?
Art of Discussion.
Art of Discussion. Right. Yeah, that's a fucking
you want to
banger.
introduce it a little bit?
Oh, for sure, man.
Yeah.
So this is a song from one of my best friends, Logan Muncie, called Art of Discussion. It was off his last album. It is everything on that album was fucking fire, and I'm sure everyone here is going to enjoy it. I believe Kai's probably already heard it. So we've done some work together in the past. I get to see him once or twice a week. We talk all the time, and local Metro Detroit hip hop artist, fantastic individual. He does all of his own production. He does some DJing, emceeing on the weekends, and just an overall great dude, super talented. So
all right, let's check it out.
Cool.